Thanks for staying with us. You know, today's Tuesday and we do a lot of health conversations on Tuesdays. So today our focus is going to be a bit on surrogacy. And the reason why we're highlighting is because I think somebody on social media, I think maybe the MD of Dank, Ife, yes, had said something about the fact that she was fine, she's physically fit and able to have children, but she chooses to use a surrogate for having children. Of course, that spurred conversations. And then reminded us, because we've also dealt with the issue of surrogacy on this table several times. And because of all the various angles that are coming up, we just thought it was important to bring it again to the fore, because surrogacy has recently become an option for people to take to help have children. So her issue was that she is making a choice, an adult choice, to have a surrogate, despite the fact that she's physically fit and her eggs are in perfect condition. Now, there's another school of thought. I think I read an article about a week or so ago where a woman was saying that we must be real with what surrogacy really is people exploiting those who are in need of money. Because the truth is that, according to this person, she was saying that surrogacy is just an opportunity for the rich to take advantage of somebody who needs money and say, you know, instead of me carrying that 9 months, take this amount of money and carry my pregnancy for me. That people are using it to exploit, and that we need to now have a proper surrogacy bill because a lot of people are being taken advantage of. Others are saying that surrogacy is not even, should not even be recognized as a source, because pregnancy is better when you are carrying it naturally. So there are different schools of thought. What are your own thoughts? Let's have a conversation. You can call us on 020-163-52013, 090-241-63440. Also send us messages on X and YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Ladies, which ones are which going? Where do you want to start?
The controversy was, the drama was plenty.
That's intense.
So if Ife is really, well, she's been very vocal in recent times regarding the female reproductive system. And for me, it's not about her. It's about the fact that she has poured a conversation. She has brought it to the fore, which is the idea of surrogacy and the liberty a woman has to choose if she wants to or not. I am not usually a fan of medical decisions that are choice-based. I feel that I would only have a medical intervention if you have no other option. That's the reason those interventions were there. The reason they became something called surrogacy was because some women could not carry. And so there was an option of, in creating a solution, we found, okay, somebody can help you to carry because you cannot. Somebody is helping you because you cannot. And then we've got into the option where, even if I can, I don't want to, I should be allowed to do whatever I want to do. Why in a season of freedom? But my worry is, I tilt to the point of view of those that say, where your freedom starts is where other people's freedom also, it ends other people's freedom. Your freedom to pay someone to carry your pregnancy means that you are robbing somebody else of the option of saying, I don't want this, but I need the money, so pay me and I'll carry the pregnancy for you. On the show a few weeks back, we discussed surrogacy, and I was of the opinion that we shouldn't commercialize surrogacy. I said it over and over again, because once you commercialize surrogacy and you start letting it become pure business, my stomach is available for you, just pay me money. Then we make surrogacy strictly for the rich, and we use the body of the poor, same way we use labor, cheap labor. So I'm preventing my stomach. I don't want my body to have stretch mark. Oh yeah, carry the pregnancy for me. A human being. You now rent the body for 9 months. I feel like there's just something wrong about it. If there was a medical condition, yes. But if it is not based on medical condition, you just chose to make a choice like that. I do not think it is. I think
for
it's
those
a
of us
selfish
that are following the surrogacy bill that is being proposed, that they're trying to insist that surrogacy must be through altruistic means, not commercial, which I hear you. So people must say, okay, I am willing to. But how realistic is that? Because nobody does anything for free these days. But anyway, let me come to your initial thoughts on this.
So, I mean, everyone who knows me knows my stance on surrogacy, right? I mean, we're not oblivious. And even medical experts this is an ongoing conversation. The ethical and the moral issues surrounding surrogacy, and even legal issues. So for instance, if someone carries your baby and at some point says, you know what, I don't want to give up this baby anymore. If we had to go to the court,
let's go.
Who would win that case?
The pregnant woman.
You know, if for instance, somebody carries your baby and develops, which is natural, a natural attachment to the baby and decides to keep, how do the other family members, if there are other kids who are already in the picture, how do they, like, what is the acceptance both of the surrogate child and the other children who are already existing before this surrogate child comes into the picture?
It's not like surrogate child.
No, sorry, I'm just saying like the child that comes in through that means that I'm trying to.
But again, if we understand, we understand surrogacy. It's not you, it's not your egg. It is my egg and my husband's thing. You're only carrying
and there are different types of, there's traditional, there's gestational. So regardless, so there are also religious issues, and I think that's where I, that's where I stand. You know, the way it is, when you step out of the bond, the way that it happens, a man's sperm and a woman's egg lives inside another person's body, and that person is not a player in the union of marriage.
Exactly.
And so as soon as that happens, adultery can be said to have happened. And so that is where I draw the line and say, this is not something that is for me. I do not stand by it. I do not buy into it. I understand that there are health issues. However, we know that there are many other routes that a person can choose to go.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I think why Ife collected Basbos was...
Oh, she collected Basbos?
Yeah, they baski her.
She did.
It was because she hit a nerve that society does not like getting to, which is the audacity for you to think that you can outsource this kind of thing. The audacity for a woman to think that she now has a choice, whether it's because of technology, because of the way the world is changing, to decide what happens with her body. How dare you, as a woman, decide what happens with your body? So that was why she got a lot of, the Basbos. And the fact that, okay, the religious angle was there, they brought in morality, if you have to do this kind of thing, you should have a problem, not just sitting down, feeling pretty and saying, I don't want my body to fall, I don't want to have stretch mark, I have the funds, I can outsource this and all of that. That was why she got that Basbos, because we think we have gotten there, but as a nation, we haven't really gotten to that point where our mindset is open to understand or accept many things. This is more like a Western thing that's coming. Though we had traditional surrogacy, in our tradition and culture and all of that, but now it's more prominent. A lot of people are embracing it. I've said it on the table that I had a conversation with my husband some time ago. That was like, if we've had that baby, it will be 4 years. He or she would be 4 years now. So initially we had planned to have 2 kids. I pushed it to 3. And at the third one, I was now thinking, okay, I'm still young. Let me just quickly do one more. At least if God gives me a boy, I can have another boy for my son, who is in the midst of all girls right now. And the conversation was, no, you're not. He was counting his money. After how many years, he now called me that, baby, do you know that these kids are now going, this one is in secondary school, they are in boarding house, this is only the last one, let's have one more now. I say, okay, I'm open to it, but I cannot carry again. He said, why? Some of your mates are just getting married now. I said, I like how you put it. Some of my mates. I've carried 3. The last one was so, what happened, And I said I was not going to carry anymore, but I would love to have another baby. So it's either we are adopting or we do surrogacy. And he said, lie, he will not do surrogacy. He does not understand what's the meaning of that. I said, okay, I'm done. I don't pack up. We don't get 3. I don't try for you. I'm done, And before I said I was done, I had conversation. There was a time we talked about it. Mo was even saying she would even carry for me
and
if I wanted
to carry for somebody else.
Yeah. So I had gotten a doctor. We had conversations. My husband shut it down. Said he wasn't interested in, surrogacy.
I mean, that's understandable because
all of that.
A lot of people takes time for people to understand.
Yes. Aside from that, so why I didn't want to carry again was the last one took me a longer time to heal, right? So after like 2 years of healing, I said I didn't want to go back to that again. But I know that once I breastfeed, I breastfed my sister-in-law's baby. The day she went out, she didn't come back on time. The baby didn't want to eat anything. And once you're a woman, you've had a baby. Once you put your breast milk in your breast in the baby's mouth, milk will come out. So I did it and I breastfed her very well. She ate, she slept before the mother came back. We used to do it back in the day. Why did we have wet nurses that would breastfeed for the kings and all of that? We did all of this back in the day. There was nothing so moral at the time.
There's something I want to highlight here, which I think is important, because as we're evolving as a people, I think it's important for us to start respecting choices. especially women's choices. I know, as you said earlier, you alluded to the fact that our society is not there yet. And I'm not going to ask us to rush our society. Yeah. But the truth is, a woman should be given a choice. If as an adult, I say, you know what, I don't want to carry a child.
It's okay.
Shouldn't I be therefore respected and regarded for making a choice that technology has afforded me? Because the truth that there was a time where women went through labor. Then they introduced something called epidural, where they'll put into your spinal, and then it helps you to release the pain, and the baby comes out. Now, would you say because, I don't believe in technology, in inventions, don't let me have epidural, I must go through the natural pain, just to show how natural my child came out? I'm just saying that.
No, I get you. You see this thing you said that women should be allowed to have a choice. You see that woman that ends up being your surrogate, did she really have a choice?
What if she did? I was willing to carry. I was willing to carry for her.
Because you were being altruistic. It is not commercial, but in what we are doing now.
So it is therefore difficult to determine which is altruistic and which is commercial.
So that person that would decide to carry for the person, I don't feel like I'd rather pay someone to carry it for me. The person you are paying is the person doing it out of freedom.
But again, is the person an adult? You see, because we baby adults in this country. Once you're an 18-year-old, anywhere in the world,
I'm renting out my womb.
I'm asking, because there was a time, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that adult decisions
should be made by adults.
Should be respected. When you're not asking a child, the 17-year-old, somebody who has voted, somebody who has married, somebody who has said, I need this money. Shouldn't that person's decision be respected? Why are we now playing the moral kind of how can they be using that?
When I started the conversation, I said I am happy that she brought it to the fore so that we can all discuss, so that we are seeing the entire view. I am actually, we've gone far. This is major advancement that somebody will carry phone and say, it's okay, I don't want to do this. But sometimes we make decisions, and while making a decision, if you are already in your 40s, deciding not to carry a pregnancy, it's not really all that glamorous. The point is your body is not going to recover very fast.
Yes.
You're in your 40s.
You're saving your own life.
Do you understand? Let's have the conversation.
Your life.
If you're in your 40s, getting on diabetes is higher. Having BP while you're pregnant is higher. Even
the child coming down with many things, Down syndrome and
when we are having, when you want to talk about your freedom, talk about the entirety. Somebody called her out and said that when she was on social media advising that she's waiting for love, she didn't tell anybody online that she had gone to freeze her eggs. They said it. You know what? Let's say the full picture.
No.
You were preaching, wait for love, don't settle for less, leave abuse,
had a backup plan.
All of that. But you had a backup plan. So
preach the backup plan too.
Somebody is looking at you and finding strength in you not to go around and settle for less. But the person doesn't know that you had saved your eggs. So now you're saying you saved egg when you're already in your 40s, and somebody is looking at you and already in their 40s and they don't have any egg to save again. Thank you for the message, but let us give the full picture.
Can I respond to this, Morayo? I don't owe you full disclosure of how my life runs. I choose what I want to give to you part-time.
Which is important.
You make your decision afterwards. When I'm saying, I'm saving myself, I'm doing this one, I'm doing that one, you decided to choose what you took out of that. It is not my responsibility to give you everything about my life. There are certain things about my life that I choose to keep. It's not for public consumption. Till I wake up one day and decide, okay, I now want to share this part. Let's not begin to hold people to once you say A, you must give us the entirety. You will say A to Z. Because if you don't, that means you are lying to us. I don't understand. Who is buying my data? Who is giving me the script to sit down and give you what? See, we need to understand that the life of social media is not as it seems. Yes. You give what you want to give part time. You that you are the consumer has a responsibility to sift.
Thank you.
And filter what it is you want to take. So if I'm listening to somebody who is saying, I don't beat my children, I don't do this one, I don't do that one, and I go home and I see my children doing nonsense and I feel like, they have said they should not beat the children. Yours is your case. Choose what works for you part-time. It's not my responsibility.
Let me go in a very short break. When we come back, I'll start with Chika. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this issue of surrogacy, and I think Chika was going to say something.
Yeah, so that's my final thoughts. Really, Beecee had talked about why it's important to sift what you hear or receive or absorb or translate from social media spaces, and that speaks to choice. I was also going to wrap up my final thoughts, on the matter of choice. The life that we have is a gift from God. Sure. And so even when God has given us the gift of free will, it's also important to people like me that, you know, how you use that free will matters. You know, it's because Adam and Eve chose to use their free will, how they chose. That is why we are where we are today. So in as much as, think about it, if people were to run amok with using their freedom however they so choose, think about the society that we would find ourselves in today. So within the confines and construct of using choice, we need to also, you know, not just, you know, pandering to whatever whim and caprice and emotion that we feel.
Because I have to read this message from
Willie. Please do.
Oh, okay, is that one?
It says, listen carefully. It is a blessing for a woman to carry her baby in her womb. That's how God wants it. Okay. Don't let wokeness derail you. Unless for medical reasons, she can adopt options like surrogacy, IVF and all. You can't say my body is my decision. I don't feel like carrying a child, I want surrogacy. No, your body is God's temple. Please make me understand this.
He's the mouthpiece of the gods. And
please make me understand because I don't understand
okay, so
what's in the word he says.
Another his very good friend, Ashiri, also wrote something that I'm going to read. No, totally different, but a different perspective. He said, have you really thought about this, the freedom? What you call empowerment may depend on another woman's lack of options. So is it really freedom if one woman's autonomy relies on another woman's financial desperation? Do we see the conflict of interest here? Now, I believe that with great freedom comes great responsibility. Yeah. I feel like the more freedom we have, the more responsible we should be. And there's another, since we're quoting people, I love Kule Shorinyo. He said that the height of freedom is insanity. So I am free. Have we seen people do with surgery to their body?
That's what I just.
It's freedom. The height of freedom is you are insane. No, I want my eye like this, my nose like this, my. So you do everything you want to do. People are turning themselves into animals in the name of freedom. Then I will conclude by my religious standpoint that, like, we will use whatever people use religion to in the way that suits them. I feel that technology and science is to help us advance and achieve our goals. I do not want to make any woman who cannot get pregnant naturally feel bad about that journey. So if you can, we bless God for your ability to be able to get pregnant and carry babies. The women who cannot are also blessed to be mothers, maybe through surrogacy or adoption, and they shouldn't be judged for taking those options. For those that do their freedom, I will not judge even Ife for what she's doing. But Beecee said something, and I will say it again. On social media, what you see is the tip of an iceberg. Yeah. Which means that the real entire picture you don't know. Okay, don't make your life decision based on the tip of the iceberg that you are seeing.
So when we say the other people who are choosing to carry is because they do not have a choice. We have people who give birth to their children and send them off to do house help because they do not have a choice, right? I think it's different. I don't think it's about choice on the part of the people who are carrying, because any woman who has decided to carry a child for somebody, some may not have thought it through, especially if they are very young, and that's why we're saying that this law that is about to come should come in such a way that we have systems to protect the ability for us to use our freedom. It doesn't mean that they should not be compensated for it, and I talked about it when we had that conversation, but it means that the system preserves even the person who has chosen to carry for whatever reason they have chosen to carry. Some people are looking for money and they feel they want to go into Yahoo, prostitution, criminality. Somebody's now saying that, why do I have the capacity to carry? Why don't I want to carry and get my needs met? How is that a crime in the first place?
I think the conversation we're having now is just because of in the next 20, 30 years, this is going to be a forgotten issue. Because yes, these are still early days and understandable. Because I mean, somebody who has a car, person who doesn't have a car, I can say because the Beecee's house is the walking distance, but I choose to have a car. I will drive my Lexus to Beece's house.
They will not say you have committed a crime.
Because you don't have the vehicle, I want to work. I will rather you rather work. You not say because so it's a conversation that you can understand. But
CS we have like to that.
Yes, because CS back then all the criticism was there. So 30 years this would not be an issue. But let's go on a short break. When we come back, we have to bring in some people from the blood bank. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.